So
here's a question.
Okay.
I know this is all about sports.
All right.
And that's usually what we talk about.
Right.
And the biggest rumor in the sport that most people follow us the most to watch is Dan Henderson versus Fedor.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming in July.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What weight do you want to see them fight at?
205.
205?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
205. Because Dan will be strong. Fedor will have to come down. He'll be quicker. It'll be good.
Now, here's the question.
Fedor's not going to make it to 185. He's got a stuck weight to make it to 2. He could get to 185, but you know.
Yeah, but here's my question.
Okay.
So let's say Fedor cuts. Now, all you people, calm down. Just listen to me. Fedor cuts weight to 205. He's
Okay.
lost what, 2 in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Bad.
Yeah. Now can I say something real quick? There's a guy that sat back and he made a comment saying, "Oh, you guys said that Fedor looked like shit against Brett Rogers." Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, Brett Rogers obviously was undefeated, but by all means, compared to Fedor, was very amateurish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he had Fedor up against the ropes. He had Fedor. He was actually Fedor caught him and won the fight eventually. But did Fedor look dominant?
Fedor didn't look dominant in his last couple fights, even his
Right.
wins. He didn't look dominant against Andre Arlovski, and somebody made a comment against that. I'm sorry, but you need to pull your head out of that man's asshole and watch the fight again.
Yeah.
He was not in control of that fight.
Now, the last fight that he looked impressive was against Tim Sylvia, and
Yeah.
we all know what Tim Sylvia's doing now. Getting knocked out by
that man
midgets.
weighs damn sight near 400 pounds.
Right.
Back to my question. Here's my thing.
Okay.
A lot of times when fighters cut weight, they normally don't do real well their first showing,
Mhm.
a la Jake Shields.
Right.
I mean, now his cutting weight's a little more drastic than what Fedor is getting ready to do, because a little more cardio, lay off the vodka and gummy bears or whatever the fuck you do, because your belly's soft. But to me, it doesn't look like he only weighs 230,
Right.
and it's not a ripped 230.
Yeah, but he just might be one of those solid bear hugging motherfuckers.
That belly is not solid.
Okay.
And his baby mama's little shorts he fights in, no.
Good point.
So my question is, if he cuts weight to 205, let's say it's even a catch weight, let's say 210, he drops 20 pounds, and he loses a much more competitive fight, not one where he got rocked, knocked out, or just pummeled to death, do you think that's his new home and he has another shot? Or if he loses 3 fights in a row, is Fedor done?
Okay, let me ask you this. It's a simple question. Do you think Dan Henderson can beat John Jones?
Fuck no.
Do you think Dan Henderson can beat Shogun Rua?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
And what about some of the other 205s? I just don't know. I'm a big Dan Henderson
fan. No,
fan.
I'm asking for Fedor. I'm not asking
but I'm
about
just
Dan
saying,
Henderson.
if he loses to Dan Henderson in the 205,
Right, that's his 3rd consecutive loss. Now,
Right.
do you give him the benefit of doubt because he cut weight and say, all right, let's give him another fight at this weight?
I mean, yeah, because his Fedor is going to have a draw. But the
and
bottom line is he's going to end up being like a crow cob. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That would be bad.
Yeah, like, I mean, a guy who is famous and stuff like this, but is losing fights, and now you're just going on his past reputation. Like, Fedor's always going to be great. He's always going to be the emperor. But, you know, you've lost 2 fights as a heavyweight, and now you've cut down to 205, and obviously you got beat by a champion in a competitive fight. But where do you go? It's kind of like Rich Franklin was at 185. You know, he never knew he never could beat Anderson Silva. So what's he do? He's sitting around fighting at 205, beating people, you know, kind of just hanging around.
Mid-tier. Now, here's the other thing. If Fedor cuts to 205, can Dan Henderson's current style, and for you people who've watched Dan Henderson long enough, you understand what I mean. His style has completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
He, in his last fights, he cocks back this right hand, and he uses this to clear space, and he punches you in the head.
Yeah.
He doesn't try for takedowns. He defends takedowns, and that's all he's looking to do.
Yeah.
Can a fighter fight that style and beat Fedor?
I don't think he can. I like Dan Henderson. I'm a big Dan Henderson fan, and I've doubted him as of lately. But the problem is, he's a great wrestler, but, you know, Fedor has good hands. And now he's going to be a little bit quicker, and he's got a lot of fucking power. You see how he's knocked out Arlovski, he knocked out Brett Rogers, even though he has the power like Henderson does. Now, Henderson can take him to the ground, but all of a sudden now you've got a guy that is phenomenal at Sambo. I mean, he could easily tap you out. And how did Henderson lose against Anderson Silva?
2nd round, he got tapped out.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got a lot of, you know, styles make fights, obviously, but I don't know if
the one thing, and if you watch how Fedor has lately been throwing his punches, he literally goes right at you and does this and throws that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you can move, step to the side, you will literally be able to kick his head completely off the shoulders.
Yeah.
Because he has no idea.
Right.
It's like his last couple fights, he's doing this.
Right.
Which, I mean, just looks sloppy. I mean, I don't know how. I'm sure Fedor trains some crazy ass, butt naked in the snow, carrying trees up and down mountains and fighting grizzly bears. I'm sure he does some crazy shit, I hope.
Right.
But And maybe it's too late in the game because what, you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Right.
His stand up is sloppy, dude.
I mean,
it's sloppy.
It's just the way. I mean, he protects himself. He doesn't leave an opening. Like, I mean, he can throw. Like, okay, the bottom line is this: if I'm sitting here, I'm up, and I throw. Okay, anytime you throw something, you're going to create opening. Well, if he's down and he knows what he's targeting,
but he kind of doesn't because his head is straight down. He's looking down at the mat as he throws a punch, and then he's got to bring his head back up to find out.
Well, sometimes when he's generating that power, he's throwing it, but I'm sure he's locked in on his target. I mean, he's not looking at the ground the whole time. You know, for me to generate a punch to hit you, it's a split second. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, if you know Fedor and you studied him and you see, okay, he does this and he moves this way, you know what I mean? He's gonna. If I threw a punch at you right now and I just went like this,
you'd break your hand.
I know, on George's head. But I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. I don't want to see Fedor lose, but if he does lose, I hope it's a lot more competitive than these last couple fights. Last fight he got smothered. The fight before that he got knocked the fuck out. I mean, it's just I
you know
want
what's
to see
interesting?
him win, but
do you know what's interesting? Both of these guys have been around forever. They're both old fighters, but Fedor is 8 years younger. Isn't that crazy to think that? He's 8 years younger. So that's another thing that you might want to take into consideration. Now you're looking at a man that's 8 years younger, and all of a sudden he's dropping weight.
All you insiders out there who have an inside track into what exactly Fedor is going to look like, or can you sneak us a pic, maybe a link to a site? Because I'd love to see what he's starting to look like. Because I'm telling you right now.
But they're talking about this fight being set for when?
July.
July, right?
It's mid-April.
Yeah.
It's going to be May. So May, June.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to cut the weight the right way, I mean, shit, you know better than anyone else in this room.
Yeah.
If you want to cut weight the right way, and I know this strictly from wrestling, if I want to make 160 pounds, I don't do it 3 weeks out.
No, you can't do that.
You got to do it gradually because
I tell
you got to get
doing
used
it
to
good right now,
strength.
Shields. Shields is sitting at 184.
Says who?
Says Jake.
Says Jake.
Yeah.
Did you call him on the bat phone?
I called him and said, "Hey Jake, man, what's going on with your weight, shorty?" He said like this, 84.
Okay, he's got 2 weeks to cut 14 pounds. He's got 2 weeks to cut 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's easy. 84 is a joke.
Really?
I mean, yeah, 84 to go from 84 to 70 is a joke. Because you cut your water, he just weighs in and he can fill back up. I mean, literally, he's got 2 more weeks. He'll end up being like 78, 77. Then he'll suck everything up, make weight, pop back up, and probably be close to 184 to fight. And the same thing with GSP.
Because the rumor was, last time Jake Shields had to drop almost 15, 20 pounds overnight?
Jake, he dropped almost 20 pounds.
Overnight?
Yeah.
He had literally the night before the weigh-in, they're like, you're 20 pounds
The
over.
problem is when someone's carrying you out of a weigh-in and your electrolytes are all off balance, it fucks you up for like 72 hours. I think a lot of athletes don't realize that. When you get fucked up and you're dehydrated and you're like this, your strength is not coming back, your stamina's not coming back, and all that stuff is shot, and it's going to be shot for some time.
How many videos do we have for this Jake Shields GSP fight?
2. Well, actually, we have Jake Shields versus GSP. Then we have GSP versus several other people, and we haven't even done the UFC, the event yet.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're out, and we'll catch you next time.